out there. But yeah, we're just successfully now continuing on through this particular set of objectives here, where we're having to collect information, I guess to figure out maybe what Menge was doing in the first place. But yeah,
At this point, we're just satisfying curiosity. Like, we've already achieved our objective. We're just kind of, want to figure out what makes him tick.
Yeah, I mean, well, we already incinerated him and blew off his head, but, war crimes or something. Now, there may seem like there's already been a pretty good rush of enemies here, and there have been. The problem is, like, once you actually get up these stairs, there's going to be not so much an ambush, but just really difficult enemy placement, because there's 2 flamethrower and machine gun zombies behind you there, except there's really no good place to hide, and the next closest room is already full of zombies.
So you run from getting the shit shot out of you to the safety of another room where you're getting the shit shot out of you.
Well, where you're probably just going to have a zombie lob a lantern at its feet to ignite everything in the room.
Yeah, you gotta figure for an enemy that's only gonna have like a 5-second lifespan anyway, setting itself on fire probably seems like a pretty good idea.
Yeah. And we actually just picked up a vampire artifact that doesn't actually add to our vampire artifacts for some miscellaneous reason. I guess because it's being used for research, but it's never honestly really explained.
It is a generic vampire artifact instead of the brand name.
Yeah, maybe maybe it's had all of its vampire power sucked out. I'm not really certain. Much like I'm not really certain what the best way is to damage those flamethrower machine gun zombies. I mean, they'll take about 3 direct hits to the head with a sniper rifle, and I've shot about 3 or 4 rockets at them. But then sometimes I'll just get a machine gun headshot and they'll go down like a sack of potatoes. So it's not always really certain what the best way is to hurt them. They'll also go down to like a single, thrown bayonet. How is a single thrown bayonet somehow weaker than, 4 rockets? It's hard to say.
Yeah, I noticed they really enjoy throwing these werewolves at you in narrow corridors where you can't really do anything about it.
Yeah, especially after the little boss arena fight with the werewolf from the previous stage. It's just kind of they wanted to give you like a fast-moving melee enemy that takes a lot of damage miscellaneously, and then put it all together in a small area.
Well, they want to make sure you fully enjoy the werewolf experience, so they just shove him right up your ass.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, the werewolf and fat guy are almost interchangeable. Thankfully, there's no real replacement for the bullet sponges that those flamethrower guys can be sometimes. Thankfully, Zimmerman has old, spongy man skin, so he can take the shots just as well.
Has a face for rockets and a body for bullets.
Yes. That's how I would describe it in erotic terms.
They could put that on the back of the box that no one picks up from the store.
Yes. And I was really good with throwing the bayonets there to the point of almost dying. I do really miss the ability to pull back get back the bayonets after they've been thrown. I don't know why they decided to change that, but
I guess they figured that was OP.
I guess, but they really didn't reveal that you could even throw the bayonets. You just had to start pressing buttons, or heaven forbid, actually read the hotkeys. But yeah, we're actually. If anybody remembers the original Fortress level, they would have remembered that floor we just crossed actually crumbled, leading into a pit full of spiders before. And in this stage, it actually goes down to a secret That's it's a bit. It would be a bit difficult if it made any fucking sense. But basically, out of these holes will come those little green jumping worms. Except that, I think if you light a fire near the holes, it'll also emit this instant kill green gas. That'll just completely wipe out those worms. And I'm not really sure what sense it makes at all.
So in the theme of Necrovision, it makes perfect sense.
Yes, it makes as much sense as what we're going to run into at the bottom of this elevator. Which is the wrong direction. But no. So we got a boss here, which appears to be Capoeira Nosferatu, who is now throwing green fireballs at us that once they actually hit something, they burst out into about 10 of those little worm things.
And you're taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, the fireballs do a pretty good amount of damage, and then there's just too many of these little worm things, so I'm pretty much gonna die here.
Pathetic human. By killing Menge, you ruined our plans, but not entirely. With your abilities, you could be more useful to us than he ever was. A dark soul such as yours is not to be wasted.
Just kill me and go to hell.
No, you go to hell, but not in the way that you imagine. Deep below us lies an item, its value beyond compare. We need it to restore the power of our great race, which once shone like a mighty sun. You will bring it to us.
Me? Why me?
You have found us. Perhaps this was destiny. You will repay us for the death of that pitiful Menge. And we shall enjoy seeing whether you are capable of defeating the golem and bringing his treasured artifact to us. With that, we can break into hell and finally stop the true enemy.
And what if I refuse?
You have no choice. It has already happened.
So, yeah, we got a bit more plot there, but we also have the end of this particular level. Join us next time